Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Never Ending Backlog Friday edition. We are back with another review. This is actually a recent purchase, and this was actually an intended purchase. I have a M1 MacBook Air that I like to take with me when I'm traveling for work, or if I just sometimes want to play in bed and not be on my desktop. Great machine, very powerful. Games that it can play are amazing. Um, Unfortunately, not a lot of games are optimized for the M1 Mac yet. So, you can't just use any Apple game on there. I know I could use stuff like, oh my gosh, when the basically you can not dual boot it, but oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the application. Parallels. Oh my goodness. Parallels, I could use Wine, and there's a couple other services out there that I can do, to, to modify it. But I mean, I have the entry level MacBook Air, so it's the smallest amount of space. It's small screen, all of it's small. But you know what? For me, for what I'm looking for, it does more than enough. It's a very powerful computer. It looks great, very light. The battery lasts a long time, and I really like it. I'm not one of those PC fanboys or Mac fanboys. I think there's value in both systems. I think the new M1 Macs are phenomenal. For their cost, they're just cheap. It's a cheap laptop in retrospect for the power that you get and the battery life. It's really, really nice. But at the same time, would I ever get rid of my gaming Windows 11 desktop? No, I love that thing too. The Windows 11 has been phenomenal, especially with the ultra wide. I know everyone's complaining because they removed the traditional start menu. It's not in the bottom left hand corner. But you know what? When I have an ultra wide, having the start menu directly in the center helps me out massively. So I have zero complaints with this. Is it Mac-ish? Sure. But you know what? Mac has proven that that interface works for a lot of people. They like it. So I think it's a modern, sleek look for Windows 11. I love it, just like I like Mac OS. Love them both. But anyway, getting back to the story, it was hard to find some games, and I wanted to find something new. And came across Bloons TD6, which I'm assuming stands for Tower Defense 6. Hope so. It'd be kinda weird if it didn't. Um, and I've always loved tower defense games. I remember playing the modded versions on Warcraft 3. Tower defense games are they're just fun. They're a cool placement game. They're a lower stress, and it's kind of like once you set it, it's out of your hands. Just good luck, go with the flow. Um, yeah. So anyway, today's review is Bloons TD6 by Ninja Kiwi. It was released in December 17th, 2018, with overwhelmingly positive reviews. I think out of all the reviews, there's 159,000. Very popular game. I don't believe I've ever played any of the Bloons TD games. I do believe I might have played them on mobile, at least one or two in the past, but it's been quite some time. I usually don't play mobile games too much. My fingers are kind of big and blocky, and to be honest, I hate having a phone. I'd rather throw my phone away and just get rid of it. If I didn't have to have Spotify, um, on the go, that's my $1 million idea. As I want Spotify to create their own little device that basically is like an MP3 player, but it's connected to the internet. That'd be cool. I had a Sirius XM portable radio that was like a little screen, and it had like a Sirius XM on it. You can actually listen to the satellite radio as you went along, and it was terrible looking. Like it was blocky, lost service. But technology's there. I understand there's a difference between satellite and internet. I get it, but still, technology's there. I know they could do it. I think it'd be cool if they did it. I would absolutely buy that and get rid of my phone today if I had that option. But anyway, back to the story. I'm tangenting like crazy on this, so sorry about that. Anyway, Bloons TD6, regarding graphics, they're charming. There's a lot of stuff that goes on screen, so if you're really sensitive to flashing and bright colors and crazy lights, yeah, I might avoid this game. It can definitely go crazy. It starts off relatively calm and mild, and then it just goes to pure insanity of balloons popping, explosions everywhere. But it's funny. I like the animations of the monkeys. Reminds me of Super Monkey Ball, which I absolutely love. So I think that part's cool. I like the animations of all the different things you can get. I also like how, have like a cannon, you can upgrade it to shoot different things, and then the graphic itself changes. So there's a lot of elements in this game graphically. I think really great job. Um, Audio is good. Lots of explosions, stuff like that. I don't really, I don't. I mean, I played this yesterday, but I don't actually recall much of the actual soundtrack as much, so I don't think it really changed my life that much, but it was still, I do remember the sound effects, I remember monkeys, and I remember explosions. I remember those things. Controls, it's primarily a mouse game. I don't think I actually used anything other than a mouse, which was nice because I used my little trackball mouse that I attached to the Mac, which works phenomenal in these type of games. And I can just lay down in bed and just throw on my trackball and just start playing away. Um, yeah, overall, very easy. There was a little bit of a tutorial right off at the beginning, which was nice. And I was actually kind of surprised, jumping into the gameplay of this functionality. The rounds are long. I always remember them being like, "Oh, here's 5 waves," and they get progressively harder, like, after, like, the 2nd wave, it's just like, "Wah," like that, and after the 4th wave, you're just like, "Geez, oh, Pete." So they end really quickly. Bloons TD6, I jumped on, like, a medium course right after I finished the tutorial, and I think it was, like, 60 waves, and you're like, "Holy cow," like, that took me 30 to 30 minutes or 30 minutes or more, actually, so it was different than what I expected. It's a more drawn out process, and, like, the waves are very similar because obviously there's 60 of them. So, maybe one of them has camouflage things so only certain people can see them, or other ones had, like, metal balloons or all these other things, so or the blimps kinda came through. Um, so yeah, it was pretty crazy. The blimps totally caught me off guard, especially in the medium level. It went from, like, some metal balloons to some camo, and it was a little bit, and then here's just these waves of these blimps that exploded, became 4 balloons. It was crazy. Um, yeah, it was a pretty fun game. I also like it isn't really as, like, grid focused as other tower defense games are. Like, it is pretty much you can put them anywhere you want to. Obviously, you can't overlap another thing, and the towers are monkeys, and the monkeys have special, abilities. So, like, there's, like, um, different magic user ones that frost spells and fire, and there's some that are snipers, there are some that are soldiers, there are some all kinds of different ones. There's artillery. I love the airplanes, how they have different bombing runs. So they just fly over the entire map and you basically can change your coordinates to say, like, oh, I want you to do a circle in the center, maybe in the top right. So that's kind of a cool thing. I also like the heroes, how you can upgrade them. And I think my favorite so far, like I said, I haven't played it a super long time, probably about an hour, hour and a half tops. Um, I loved the helicopters. I think the helicopters are so much fun. Initially, before you even upgrade them, where you just get to move the mouse cursor around and they fly around wherever your mouse is, to eventually becoming like the pursuer, the police versions that actually just track automatically. I love the helicopters. I think they are so much fun. They just are such a cool thing. Um, but yeah, so gameplay wise, like I said, you're able to pretty much put them wherever you want to. Use your spacing. It's a very limited resource as well. So you're managing the space resource, you're managing your money, and you're managing your experience to level up your characters, make them stronger, give them new abilities, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of cool micromanagement involved in this. It's a very easy one to just jump right into. Like I said, I don't know if I've ever played a balloons tower defense game in the past, but I was able to jump in relatively quickly, not having any background information. So yeah, worked out really well. Like I said, I did play this on the M1 MacBook. It worked flawlessly. I had no issues. It started right up into the game and worked perfect. It was optimized for the M1 Mac, which is awesome. I have not played it on PC, but I'm assuming it's going to work flawless there as well. I don't know how much I actually will play it on the PC. It'll probably just be one of those games that, I'm looking to play something in my Mac on the go. I can just boot it up. It's a small game. It runs real quick. It's a very bright, colorful, flashy game, which is kind of fun. But yeah, overall, I would definitely say Bloons TD6 was a great purchase. I see why it's overwhelmingly positive. I'm always a fan of the tower defense games. They're just easy to jump into. I understand why they were such a big hit on the mobile market because they're really easy to get into. So overall, great game. Definitely going to give it a thumbs up in Steam. I think this could be my new rating scale. Everyone's like, oh, 5 stars or something like that. That doesn't really matter. Steam only cares about one thing: thumbs up or thumbs down. Do I recommend it? Do I not recommend it? I absolutely recommend Bloons TD6. Big thumbs up there, especially if you're into those type of puzzle kind of, resource management, tower defense types games. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this. There are a lot of tower defense games obviously out there. Like I said, I started on Warcraft 3 mods, and those are actually still out there. I think even in the remastered version of Warcraft 3, there are like the custom map developers, and those things are just a blast. If you have not played custom maps and mods on Warcraft 3, go do it. It's so cool. The RPG element ones, I remember playing some like RPG Zombie Hunter ones with my friends. It's just such a cool time. Obviously, there's stuff like comparable games are like Legion, Rogue Tower, Outpost, Kingdom Rush is a big one that I remember playing quite a bit of. Um, Lots of them out there. There's a ton there. Dota 2, I think they put themselves under the tower defense. I haven't played Dota 2 in forever. I believe Dota actually came from a Warcraft 3 mod, if I'm not mistaken. I might be getting those. But yeah, and also if you're looking for a tower defense game that's not Bloons, maybe you want something that's a different theme, you can go right into the Steam store and actually you can tag tower defense. And according to Steam, I'm looking at it right now, there's 1,620 tower defense games out there. So plenty of options for you to play out there. I would definitely recommend though Bloom TD6 if you like monkeys, you like balloons, you like bright, colorful tower defense games. So that is the conclusion of the first week of the Never Ending Backlog. We'll be back next week. I'll probably actually pre-record some of the episodes so that way it fits with schedules a little bit. Hope you're all enjoying the new format. It's a lot easier for me to just jump right in and start recording. It doesn't take days or hours to actually edit and do all this type of stuff. It might change again in the future, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with this. It's giving me time to actually play the games, which is the most important part for me, and actually, knock off my backlog, which I actually am. I'm actually doing quite well with knocking stuff off. I mean, 5 games in a week, that's awesome. Pretty happy with that. So anyway, thank you for joining me on another episode of the Never Ending Backlog. Have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday.